Okay, hi, yeah. I've been playing Gen 3 ladder, like Gen 3 OU for like a little bit, like maybe a couple months, and I've really enjoyed it, right? Like I think it's a lot of fun. I might honestly enjoy Gen 3 more than Gen 7, so I thought like, hey, okay, I might play in this Gen 3 tournament that's coming up. So that was the idea here. Going into this, I don't know my opponents, so I just brought whatever teams I enjoy personally. So yeah, I'm just gonna go over this. Honestly, the set was really hacksy for me, like in my favor, so I feel a little bad about this, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like there's something to go over here regardless of whether I hacked or not, you know? Because I don't think I played that well game 1. I think I played maybe fine game 2, we'll see. But yeah, let's go over turn 1 here. So I lead Zapdos, my opponent leads Metagross. So the thing with lead Metagross is that these are usually choice banned, and they run Meteor Mash, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Explosion. The idea is that Metagross just immediately opens up holes because the one thing that can really stomach hits from Metagross are like bulky water types and steel type and Skarmory. And the idea is that you just explode turn 1, so you can just kill that and then open up progress for your really like hyper offensive team, right? So lead Metagross signifies a really offensive team. My lead Zapdos can mean a lot of things. Zapdos is a pretty standard lead. Zapdos is flexible. It can baton pass out of bad matchups like T-Tar, and it can like no lead is gonna be faster than Zapdos is the thing because T-Tar is slower, Metagross is slower, Skarmory is slower. Is there something I'm forgetting? I don't know. The only lead that could potentially tie with you is Salamence, which actually never does outspeed and one-shot you because the only Salamence that can one-shot you is Choice Band Salamence, which always runs Adamant. So Zapdos is like the fastest lead. Oh my god, wait. So Zapdos is like the fastest lead Pokemon. Yeah. So the thing with my team is I'm running Special Offense, which aims to remove Blissey, which is the biggest special wall, using Dugtrio. And the cool thing about this Zapdos is that you can sub down as they potentially go into Blissey, and then baton pass into Dugtrio, and then you just kill them 1-for-1. So I have sub here, which is also really good into the Choice Band Metagross potentially here, because I can sub down on and scout what the move is, and if I catch the boom, that's really good for me. So I'm always subbing turn 1, and all I know is that my opponent has a really offensive team. They go hard into Jolteon as I go for a sub. My set on this Zapdos is HP Grass, Baton Pass, Thunderbolt. So, and Sand is not up, so even if I HP Grass the Zapdos, it's still going to heal back up, so I don't see HP Grass being all that worth it here. So what I want to do here is I have a Celebi, which usually walls Jolteon, and if it's HP Ice, then I reveal that there. So I'm just going to Baton Pass into my Celebi here, as they also sub. So this is where I'm like, oh, what the heck is going on here? Because the thing with Subjolt is these also run Baton Pass. It's very similar to lead Zapdos, but it's like way faster, but they don't lead off of Jolteon usually. So here I'm like, okay, this team is going to be offensive, so there's likely no Blissey here because the Metagross reveals that like it's an offensive team, so there's likely no Blissey here unless it's some weird like Blissey offense. My Celebi is HP Fire, Psychic, Baton Pass, Calm Mind. So my idea here is, okay, if I should always HP Fire here, right? Because if Metagross comes in, I break the sub on that. And then if they want to reveal a third Pokemon that resists the combination of HP Fire and like Psychic or Grass or whatever, that's cool too, right? HP Fire also breaks Jolteon sub, which is better in the case of, what is it? They have HP Ice and they want to trade subs, right? Because I don't want to Calm Mind on the incoming HP Ice, because then they keep their sub and they can Baton Pass into something else. That's not something I want. So I want to break the sub right now or catch the Metagross. It's my play. Baton Pass comes out, Metagross does come in, and HP Fire is able to break the sub. So I know this is banded. I know, well, it's likely to be banded anyway. So I have no reason not to throw out another HP Fire here. Yeah, just 50, which is good. They miss Mash. Now, this is really big for me, because this means that I get to keep my sub and throw out another attack here now. I think I just go for HP Fire again here. Yeah. I HP Fire again here into the T-Tar. So this is the really cool thing, right? Because of the sub, and because I have 2 Baton Passers, I can actually bring in my Dugtrio now behind the sub to trap the T-Tar. And I can also trap the Metagross, which I know later on. So the match miss there really mattered because obviously I wouldn't be able to pull this play off if I didn't have Doug Trio, which is a huge bummer for my opponent, right? Like I feel bad about that, but it's like obviously you're not singling with Metagross even if you break my sub, right? So you always go T-Tar here, and then I have a safe switch in with Suicune. And Suicune's kind of bad into this team, right? Because they have that Jolteon. So it's like, using Suicune as a pivot into T-Tar is honestly fine. But yeah, here I'm able to pull that BP out into Doug, which is really good for me. The Tar reveals no items. This is likely a, like last turn it revealed that it wasn't leftovers. So this is likely either Choice Band or a Lum DD Tar. Choice Band, both sets run pretty speed invested, so I know this EQ is going to one-shot. So then this forces a fourth to be revealed, and it's Gyarados. So the thing is, my team should not lose to Gyarados, because I have both a Zapdos and I have a Gengar. And the idea is that Gyarados can only brute... Oh my god. Shit. The idea is that Gyarados can only brute force through only one of Zapdos or Gengar with its coverage, right? Because you need HP Rock to you need HP Rock in order to go through Zapdos, and you need HP Flying in order to get through Gengar. Yeah. I guess hypothetically you could run Double Edge HP Flying. Yeah, I guess, yeah. But it's like the idea is that like one of them should be able to 1v1 the Gyarados as long as they're at full, you know? I should be able to eat a hit, is the idea. So here, I'm going to safely go into Zapdos here because Gyarados cannot immediately threaten because my Zapdos is still healthy, and they go into Smeargle. So Smeargle, I'm like, shit, because Smeargle does a lot of annoying things. Obviously, it runs Spore, Spikes, and then it can, like, Baton Pass stat buffs, it can, like, explode, it can do a whole bunch of bullshit, but the big thing is that I'm thinking that I'm gonna get slept here, right, is the idea. So my biggest irk here is that I didn't know who I wanted to get slept here, because I'm like, okay, I honestly though, I should let Dugtrio get slept, but basically what happens here is I T-Bolt here, thinking, okay, I don't know what's happening here, if Zapdos gets slept, that's fine. Because I'm assuming this is a Salix Smeargle, right? But it's actually leftovers, so it's not going to die to sand here. So that I was like, oh. And I don't want it to DD pass into Gyara, or especially that CB meta. That CB meta is a huge issue for me. Like, I do have Suicune, which is like the best counter I could ask for, but like, my Suicune's offensive, so it's not going to eat the hit, like, perfectly. Especially considering with the DD, this is effectively a +2 Metagross. That's, like, fucking terrifying. But what I should have done here is Spore is so obviously coming out here. There's no reason for them not to Spore, so I should have sacked my Dugtrio, which loses to Jolteon and the Gyarados. So it's like, I really shouldn't keep this around. But I kind of get really greedy here, and I just, like... I let Zapdos go to sleep here, which is really fucking stupid, because I need both Zapdos and Gengar alive to handle Gyarados, so that the other can, like, I only need one of them, I need both of them alive, so that one of them is guaranteed to take down Gyarados is the idea, so that I don't lose to like, its coverage if I get unlucky with, like, Will-O-Wisp or something. Yeah, I really regret that play, because it's like, Zapdos is so valuable here, right? Like, it beats Smeargle after it finishes VPing, it beats Metagross, it beats Gyarados. Dugtrio only beats Metagross, and it gives Gyarados free setup, it loses to Jolteon, because that's faster and goes for HP, Ice, or Grass, like... Yeah, the sleep was such a... Staying with Zapdos here was such a shit play, dude, oh my god. But yeah, I burn a sleep turn there, and they're gonna BP out into... Who is it? Oh, right. I go hard into Suicune here so that I can guarantee roar out whatever comes in, because I can't let this DD get passed off into Gyarados or Metagross. I really can't let that happen. If I do, then that's like super bad for me. So what happens here is my Celebi has no way of forcing out the Gyarados, so I can't go Celebi on this Jolteon. What I have to do here is Suicune's my only roar on this team, so I have to use Suicune or roar here, which basically means Suicune is going to end up trading to get rid of this DD boost, and effectively get rid of Smeargle, because Smeargle's slower than most of my team. Yeah, so Suicune's gonna eat this T-Bolt here, which sucks, but Suicune's not great into Gyarados or Jolteon anyway, so it's like fine. I don't. I should have let Doug Trio get slept so that I could avoid the situation. It's so annoying. Because I really needed Zapdos still alive. Yeah, but I'm gonna trade HP for. I'm gonna trade T-Bolt for Roar here. I have to make this play, otherwise I just lose to a 2 DDs on Gyara or the DD Ban Ments. Now Ments comes in here. I am very offensive Suicune. Oh my god. So I go for Pump, but I miss, and then they mash me, which is like. I don't know if I killed, because like sometimes they run bulk on the Ban Ments. I mean Ban Gross. So, like I don't really know if I killed or not, but it would have been nice because then I could have brought in my Celebi or something. Yeah, I could have brought in Celebi for a guaranteed kill, which would have been nice. Because right now I don't know if HP Fire is a roll or not, and I really need to keep all my guys alive, especially considering that Suicune's about to die and Zapdos is asleep. So I'm effectively like 2 down here, basically. Yeah. So now I go into Doug here because Doug is the one Pokemon on my team that can safely revenge kill this Mon, because I let fucking Zapdos go to sleep. Like, you can really see the consequences of just, like, picking the wrong fucking thing to sack to sleep. Like, it's really annoying. Even when you're, like, supposed to be even up in Mons, like, you can see how bad this is, because I let, like, my one stopgap to, like, all the offensive threats here on Metagross, Gyarados, just go to bed, so it's, like, really terrible for me. But yeah, I EQ knowing that Gyarados comes in and gets a free DB off, but I still have the Gengar. And I am bulky Will-O-Wisp Gengar, which is the one thing that can stop this Gyarados from just winning on the spot here. So here I have 2 plays that I can make here. I can Wisp, or I can T-Bolt. Because I'm bulky Gengar, so I don't even know if T-Bolt killed the Gyarados. My idea was that, okay, if they go hard into Jolteon, then, like, that's not great for me. So I wanted to go for Wisp, because Wisp catches both, Wisp catches all 3 options here. Wisp catches Jolteon coming in, Wisp catches another DD, Wisp catches, just an attack, because I am bulky Gengar, so I live a hit. Yeah, so I want to go for Wisp. I don't want to T-Bolt in case I miss the kill on a bulkier Gira, or they go Jolteon. HP Flying comes out, only does 50, and then I land the Wisp. So I'm like, okay, I'm guaranteed to live this next one, and then I can put him away with a T-Bolt, right? I'm like feeling pretty good about my position right now. And then they crit me with HP Flying, which in this gen is double damage. So I'm like, okay, crap. Because now I have no good way to revenge. I have the Zapdos, which is asleep. I have HP Fire Psychic Celebi. I have Rock Slide Dugtrio, which definitely dies to HP Flying. And then I have Fire Punch, HP Grass, Psychic Jirachi. So I have no way of one-shotting this guy. So Jirachi basically has to trade 1-for-1 with this Gyarados, which is really bad, because then I'm in a 2v3 basically. Which is really shit. Yeah, so I'm just praying that Jirachi doesn't die of 2 high roll earthquakes, which it doesn't, thankfully. Yeah, dude, I remember in being this spot and I was like, crap, why'd I let Zapdos go to bed? But yeah, Gyarados dies. Jolteon comes in to revenge kill me here. So here, I'm like, okay, it's basically a 3-on-3 here. I need to keep all my sacks so I don't lose the sack horde. That's my idea. So even though I need HP on Celebi, because that's the mon that's going to win this game, I have to go hard into it here to avoid dying. So the reason why I felt good about going Celebi here is because if you go all the way back to the initial couple turns when I had sub Celebi on sub Jolteon, I feel like a reasonable play to make there, well, oh my god, I feel like a reasonable play to make there would be to HP Ice into Celebi, you know? Like, just to break the sub and then see what Celebi wants to do. I feel like that's also a pretty reasonable play. So I'm thinking, okay, I feel like this is HP Grass Jolteon, right? Because if you look at the team, this team has, like, no good Swampert answers. I mean, I guess you could say the same thing for, like, Flygon and Mence. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I guess it could go either way. But yeah, the idea was just, yeah, that was the idea. I think he doesn't have HP Ice because I feel like he would have revealed HP Ice earlier when it was the sub-on-sub war. I want to Psychic turn 1 so I can get guaranteed damage on anything that comes in here. And also so that I can guarantee that this Jolteon takes damage here, right? Because if I call Mind and then he switches out, and I'm forced to switch out, then I just lose the potential Jolteon endgame if my Celebi takes more hits. So I want a Psychic first here to guarantee damage down on Jolteon. That was the idea there, right? So then here I'm like, okay, maybe now I can call Mind, because Thunderbolt's not doing the most damage. I mean, it's doing 20%, which is like kind of a lot, but like, if he didn't hard switch that turn, then I'm like, okay, there's definitely like, his last does not beat Celebi. That was my thought process there. So I'm gonna call Mind this turn just to see if I can just win on the spot here, unless I get like crit parried. So then I don't think I should have called Minded again here, because I risked crit again there. Yeah. So then he stacks Smeargle, and then Medicham comes in. So the thing about Medicham is that because he has T-Tar and well, obviously he reveals leftovers there, but like I was worried about Salic of Medicham here. But without Salic Berry, Medicham, there's no way of raising its speed, so it'll always be slower than all three of my Pokemon here, Jirachi, Dugtrio, and Celebi. So my play here was I'm going to sack Jirachi so I can guarantee the Dugtrio trap, chip this into range for Celebi to pick off, and then I just win with 2 Celebi Psychics. That's my guaranteed win. I don't think this path could have ever lost the game. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, so we bring in Dugtrio, and we Earthquake. And then, yeah, we just win with Celebi in the end. Surprisingly, that Brick Break doesn't kill Dugtrio somehow. I think it's... Am I Bulky Dug on this team? I actually don't know if I'm Bulky Dug. I feel like that's definitely Bulky Dug if I lived Medicham Brick Break. But yeah, so I feel like this game was pretty clean, except for the part where I let Zapdos get slept. I feel like if I sacked Doug to sleep, this game would have been way cleaner. But I'm still decently okay with how I played. I just think I picked the wrong sleep target. I feel like that's something you gotta like respect a lot more, especially in an offense team where they have Metagross, Sierra, right? You need Zapdos against this kind of team, you know? Okay. Okay, this is game 2. Let's see the turn 1s. So turn 1, I lead off with Tar. They lead off with Zapdos. This is a pretty standard lead. I mean, T-Tar can run any set. Zapdos usually likes to BP out. Sometimes they sub to Scout if they have it, but usually they just BP out if they have it. So my Tar is mixed. I have Rock Slide, Fire Blast, HP Grass, Brick Break, I think. I'm like kind of fast, but mostly invested into both offenses is the idea on this Tar. Yeah, so turn 1, I go for Fire Blast, predicting like something like a Metagross or a Skarmory to come out. I want to punish that, right? Like I want to deny spikes as much as I can, because my team is a little weak to spikes. But yeah, they just T-Bolt turn 1, which is crazy, and then I miss Fire Blast, which is like, okay, alright. If I Rock Slided there, they were fucking dead, but like, okay, I guess. I am Lum on this Tar, so I'm not healing off the T-Bolt, which is a kind of an issue. I Rock Slide here, Pert comes in. Rock Slide does 21%, and I really should have calced that damage, because this next turn here, I stay in thinking, okay, I'm kind of fast Tar, right? If they're outspeeding me, they need to be a really offensively invested Swampert, which, like, I feel like 21% Rock Slide should have given away, but, like, you know, I'm fucking stupid. But yeah, I go for HP Grass as they outspeed and kill me with Pump, which is like, okay, sure. So now I bring in Gengar here, which is like, okay, if you're that offensive on Pert, that means you're running a minus Spadef nature, so HP Grass is going to blow you up, right? And if you're running this offensive Pert fits an offensive team, so there's not likely to be a solid Blissey here, right? Or a solid Spadef wall. Maybe there's like a Pursuit Tar at worst, but it's like, you wouldn't bring Pursuit Tar hard in on what's likely to be what's pretty much screaming HP Grass here, right? I mean, maybe you would, I don't know. But yeah, here I'm like, okay, I'm on the back foot right now. My opponent's Mons are both healthy, and then I have, what, a dead Tar, right? So it's like, I need to pick up the slack here. So I'm thinking, okay, if they want to conceal their Mons, and there's unlikely to be a Blissey in the back because of this offensive Pert signaling an offensive team, then I want to Ice Punch a Zapdos coming in here to scout for the HP Grass. This is what my idea was. And I'm able to catch the Zapdos, and I deal a fuck ton. And thanks to Sand, this is not healing up. So I'm free to go for another HP Ice here, another Ice Punch here. So in comes in Metagross. Metagross and Swampert are commonly paired together on offensive teams because the idea is that if you're running offensive investment on both Pert and Metagross, then you're not, they're not those sturdiest rock resists, and every team needs like a solid rock resist in ADV. So yeah, that was the idea. So like, I know they're running an offensive team. I know it's so unlikely that there's a Blissey on here. So Gengar is going to be super good because this is a Fire Punch Gengar. So I can Fire Punch Metagross, I can HP Grass Pert, and I can Ice Punch the Zapdos. So Gengar looks amazing here. So I know I need to keep Gengar healthy, so I'm not willing to trade here at all for Fire Punch damage on Metagross, and then I die to Bash or whatever, something stupid. So I bring in Skarm here on Psychic. So Psychic usually signals, they didn't Pursuit there, so this is likely a mixed Metagross with, I like mixed Metagross a lot. These run, like Psychic, HP Fire, Mash, Boom, that's what these run. So I'm like, okay, I want my spikes up so I can start limiting this Metagross and chip it into Gengar Fire Punch range. So here, I'm just going to trade 1 HP Fire hit so I can get up my spike here. I'm just protecting so I can get more chip heal. This is always optimal. Unless they went hard Zapdos there, which is like, whatever, I guess. But yeah, they go for HP Fire. I knew they had that. And then I get up a spike there. I don't know why the spike doesn't show up, but yeah, that's one spike. Zapdos comes back in here. As I protect, I mean, I don't regret that, because what I have here is probably, I mean, I protect here, right? Yeah. On Thunderbolt, and then I go into one of the best Zapdos counters in the entire game, but that's not named Blissey, and I have a Lantern. But they make a good call on Thunder Wave. That's fine, because Lantern's still at full here. So I do have, they went for Roar there, which is like, I'm not sure what the idea was. Maybe they were like, I don't know, maybe they were like, HP Ice. I guess, yeah, because if you have no Blissey on this team, right, so it's like, you have no good way of switching into this Mon. But I still feel like HP Ice was more productive than Roar. I don't know. Maybe I'm making shit up. But it's like, yeah, their team does not switch into special hits that well, so I know Gengar is like super good if they had no switch into my Lantern. But yeah, I'm able to pick up the kill with Pump there. I wanted to Pump because it catches Metagross. Pert's in, I'm like, okay, I know this is offensive Pert, so it's probably like Ice Beam, EQ, Focus Punch. So I bring back in Skarm, and I dodge a Pump, which is like unlucky for my opponent, but like I feel like I kind of deserve that after the I mean, I don't know. I feel like this Pump miss was a lot more significant for my opponent than me missing Fire Blast, but it's like, I don't know. But yeah, that's obviously very lucky because now my Skarm gets to heal back up to basically full with Protect. And then here I'm gonna get up another layer of Spike to deal with the Metagross. Or do I Toxic here? Oh, I Toxic. Okay, that's even better to limit the Pert, actually. Yeah. Yeah, so now when you see 52%, you're like, okay, yeah, that miss definitely mattered, but also you're trying to hit 2 pumps in a row, which is like, I mean, it's still unlucky, but it's like, I don't know. You're playing with Pump, right? So it's gonna miss. Men's comes in, I go for another Protect. I'm playing a bit passive with my Protects here, but it's like, I kind of gotta, right? If he's just gonna pump me to death. So it is revealed to be a mixed Men's, which is likely on this team because, like, there's no, like, it's obviously meant to be like a kind of Skarm beatdown team, where it's like, your team doesn't, like, have a Magneton to trap Skarm, but everything threatens Skarm with, like, Fire Blast from Men's, Strong Pumps from Pert, HP Fire, Metagross, Zapdos, obviously. Right, but it's like, Salamence is another Pokemon that loses to Gengar, because I'm fast Gengar on this team, so Ice Punch kills this, Fire Punch kills Meta, Grass kills Pert, so it's like, Gengar still looks insane here. And because I know this is a Mixment, I can pretty comfortably go into Lantern here. Yeah. So Lantern here gets basically one more attack off before it dies. I just click Ice Beam in case the Mence wants to trade with me, and plus hitting Pump in while Parrot isn't even, like, that great anyway. I know this is a mixed growth, so it can never actually kill me with Psychic, HP Fire, Mash, Boom, so I just go for a Pump here to just see if I can get huge damage on this thing, and now it's like, Meta's dead, right? So it's like, now nothing wants to switch into Gengar, because, like, this thing was the one thing that could, like, take a hit from Gengar, and now it can't. So Lax comes in, actually, so I'm like, okay. So, because there's no Magneton on this team, because there's, like, it's like a Skarm beatdown team. So I know this Lax is like basically confirmed to have the Focus Punch here. So I bring in Skarmory on the Shadow Ball, as my opponent potentially tries to punish like a Wisp play potentially. But yeah, I'm just trying to get up my layers here. I get up one layer there, as they Focus Punch me. So I'm dead to basically any hit now, pretty much. So Skarm's basically useless now. So here I make like a terrible play, and for some reason, instead of getting up my third spike, I go for Roar for some reason, which is like incredibly questionable. I don't know why I roared here, but yeah, that was like the stupidest thing ever. So now I bring in my Metagross. This is just a standard defensive Metagross with Mash, EQ, Protect, Boom. And nothing on this team can switch into Mash anymore, right? Because Pert is poisoned and will take 2 spikes. Salamence obviously can't switch into Mash. Snorlax can't switch in, and Metagross can't switch in. So here, this is like the world's freest Mash of all time. Metagross comes in, and then I pick it off. Swampert comes in here, and I'm like, okay, I'm defensive Metagross, so I know I can take at least 1 hit from this, potentially 2. Depending on the Pert, obviously. So here I go for Protect to rack up toxic damage, and I'm like, okay. Because my last is Arrow, so once this Pert is like permanently chipped, then Arrow just wins the game. It was my idea here. I dodge another Pump, which is like super fucking lucky, and now the Pert's basically on its last legs. But it's like, I don't know how much that mattered, because like I was just trying to kill that guy anyway. Mence comes in, and here I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna Mash and trade down. No, I go Gengar. That's okay, yeah, that's way better. Because I know Gengar can live a hit, and then I can keep Metagross healthy to trade something later. Because right now I'm playing for the Gengar, I'm playing for the Aerodactyl endgame here. So here I just Ice Punch again, no reason not to. I think I just go Metagross here again, right? Because I'm literally just trying to chip everything into arrow range, yeah. So here is another free Mash for me, I think. They Focus Punch again, hoping I like choke or whatever. Yeah, nah. Mash comes out there, I got a boost. Mence comes in, and because I am defensive Metagross, I'm actually able to live this Fire Blast here, which is really cool. I love this EV spread. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I got lucky for sure, right? But it's like, I don't know. I feel like Arrow just won on this spot here, right? Because I live a hit, and then Pert gets hit by the EQ, right? So it's like, yeah. Tar comes in here. It is faster than me, so I know this is a reasonably speed invested Tar. Likely DD, because there was no item that went off, so it's likely Lum. So I boom here, so I can guarantee the win with my EQ Arrow. Because I didn't want some bullshit happening where he gets like 2 DDs off, you know? Yeah, I mean, the pump misses were lucky for sure, but it's like, I feel like I still won regardless, you know? Like, I think his team was just so weak to the combination of like Gengar and like Arrow and, well, I don't know necessarily Arrow. He had 2 Rock Resist, but it's like the combination of Gengar and like Metagross just like tore through him, you know, with spikes up. Which is like, I don't like playing mixed offense like this, where it's like, it just feels like it loses to Gengar, you know? Like, every single one of this team besides the, like, Lax, like, lost to Gengar, you know? Like, that's just tough. But yeah, that's the series. Yeah, thank you for watching, if you made it this far.